Human guides the alien girl through forest fog, and the alien girl says the fog hid something for him. Hello everyone. Before we begin today's story, I have a small favor to ask. Please hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our channel's new videos. It's quick, free, and the best way to support us in bringing you more dramatic stories. Your support means the world to us. Where are you watching from? Drop your city or country in the comments below. Thank you very much. Now, let's get back to the main characters. Adam, a young man with short brown hair and deep blue eyes, had lived in the small town of Pine Ridge his entire life. It was a place where everyone knew everyone, and the woods surrounding the town were as familiar as the back of his hand. But on this particular morning, things felt different. The air was thick with a strange fog, rolling out from the forest and creeping slowly into the town. The fog wasn't like anything Adam had ever seen before. It wasn't just mist, it felt alive, almost like it was moving with intent. He had no idea why, but Adam had to find out. And that's when he met her. Her name was Lily, and she wasn't from around here. Her skin shimmered with an almost ethereal glow, and her eyes, a shade of purple Adam could never quite describe, seemed to pierce through the fog. She appeared out of nowhere, as if the mist itself had given birth to her. "I'm lost," she said, her voice soft yet firm. "I don't belong here. I need help." Adam stood frozen for a moment, unsure of what to do. This was no ordinary girl. She didn't look like anyone he had ever seen, not even the travelers who occasionally passed through the town. "I'm Adam," he said finally, breaking the silence. "I can help you. But, what are you doing here? This fog, it's not normal." Lily looked around, her gaze shifting nervously as she took in the swirling mist around them. "It's hiding something," she said quietly, almost to herself. "Something important. Something for you." Adam blinked, confused. "For me?" "Yes," Lily replied, her voice steady but distant. "The fog has a purpose. It's not just here to obscure your vision. It's here to protect something. Or someone." Adam couldn't shake the feeling that Lily wasn't telling him everything. But the mysterious fog, and the odd sensation of her presence, made him feel like he had no choice but to follow her. Together, they began to walk into the forest, the thick fog parting in front of them like a curtain opening onto a hidden world. The deeper they went, the more the forest seemed to shift around them. The trees loomed like silent sentinels, their twisted branches reaching out as if they were alive. Lily didn't seem afraid, but Adam couldn't shake the sense of unease building in his chest. "Where are we going?" he asked, his voice tense. Lily didn't answer at first. She simply kept walking, her footsteps soundless on the forest floor. "I'm not sure," she said finally, "but I know we're close." As they walked, the fog thickened again, making it harder for Adam to see more than a few feet in front of him. He could barely make out the shape of Lily ahead of him, her figure glowing faintly through the mist. "This fog," Adam muttered, almost to himself. "It's like it's protecting you, or hiding you." Lily turned to face him, her expression unreadable. "It's hiding something from you," she said softly, her voice laced with something Adam couldn't quite place. Fear, or perhaps something deeper. Something that will change everything. The fog swirled around them, and for the first time, Adam felt like the world he knew was slipping away, replaced by something far more mysterious and dangerous. He had no idea what they were walking toward, but he was certain that nothing would ever be the same after this. The adventure had just begun. As they ventured deeper into the forest, the fog seemed to close in around Adam and Lily. The trees grew taller, their branches twisting and reaching like fingers in the mist. Adam could barely see his own hand in front of his face, but Lily moved with an eerie confidence, as if the fog didn't faze her at all. He tried to keep up, though the path was growing steeper, and his steps grew heavier with every minute. "Lily, where exactly are we going?" Adam asked again, his voice tinged with impatience. She didn't respond immediately, which made him uneasy. He was beginning to question his decision to follow her. "We're almost there," Lily said softly, her voice drifting back to him like a whisper. "Don't worry, Adam. You're safe." Her reassurance didn't do much to calm his nerves. The air felt thick, almost suffocating, and he couldn't shake the feeling that they weren't alone. Strange noises echoed through the trees, whispers, soft footfalls, even a distant crackling sound, like something moving just out of sight. Adam's heart rate picked up, Was it just the forest? Or was something else watching them? Do you hear that? Adam asked, stopping in his tracks. Lily paused, but didn't look back. Her eyes were fixed on something in the distance. I hear it, she replied quietly. It's not what you think. Adam was confused. What do you mean? What's out there? Something you don't understand yet, Lily said, her tone distant, as though she was trying to communicate something beyond words. Adam's brow furrowed. I don't understand any of this. Who are you really, Lily? She stopped walking and turned to face him. Her eyes were different now, deeper, as if they held centuries of secrets. I'm not from here, Adam. I'm not like you. And neither is the fog. He took a step closer, wanting to understand, but a sudden gust of wind blew through the trees, sending a chill down his spine. The fog thickened, swirling around them like a living entity. Adam shivered. What's happening? Is this part of the plan? He asked, trying to keep his voice steady. Yes, Lily said, nodding. But this isn't just about you or me. It's about something far bigger. The fog is part of it. It's protecting something, something powerful, something that needs to stay hidden. Adam felt a knot form in his stomach. Hidden from what? And why are you telling me this now? Lily hesitated, her eyes darting around the foggy forest. Because you're the one who will find it, Adam. The one who has the key. But you have to trust me. Adam swallowed hard. He had no choice but to trust her. There was no turning back now. He nodded, though doubt still gnawed at him. All right, I'll trust you. But I don't understand what's at stake. Lily gave him a faint smile, one that didn't quite reach her eyes. You will, Adam. Soon enough you will. They continued walking, the fog growing thicker with every step. The trees around them seemed to bend and shift, as if they were alive, watching them. Every so often, Adam thought he saw a shadow flitting between the trunks, but when he blinked, it was gone. He couldn't shake the feeling that they were being followed. The deeper they went, the more the atmosphere seemed to change. The air grew colder, the fog denser. The whispers grew louder, now accompanied by the unmistakable sound of something large moving in the distance. Adam's heart raced, and he instinctively reached for Lily's hand. She didn't flinch. Her grip was firm, but not warm. We're close, she said again, her voice low and urgent. Adam glanced at her, then back into the mist. He had no idea what they were walking toward, but it didn't matter anymore. His curiosity was stronger than his fear. Whatever was hidden in the fog, whatever Lily was leading him to, he had to see it for himself. The fog pressed in harder now, wrapping around Adam and Lily like a thick, suffocating blanket. The forest was alive with strange noises, the rustle of unseen creatures, the distant calls of birds, and the occasional creak of the branches overhead. Adam's steps slowed as he began to feel the weight of the atmosphere. His heart pounded in his chest, each beat louder than the last. He glanced at Lily, but her expression remained calm, as though she had walked through this kind of fog countless times before. Lily, Adam said, his voice breaking through the heavy silence. What exactly are we looking for? What's hidden here? Lily turned her head slightly, her purple eyes glowing faintly in the mist. You're about to find out, she replied, her tone almost cryptic. This place, it holds something far older than either of us can understand. It's been waiting for you, Adam. Waiting for someone to come and unlock it. Adam swallowed, his throat dry. The idea of being the one to uncover something ancient, something hidden for so long, made him feel small. He was just a guy from a small town. What could he possibly have to do with whatever lay hidden here? But why me? He asked, his voice strained with confusion. Why not someone else? Why am I the one who has to find this thing? Lily paused, her gaze shifting as if she was considering how much to say. Because the fog chose you, Adam. And because you have something inside you, something that connects you to this place. You won't understand it all now, but soon you will. Her words only made him more uncertain. What did she mean by the fog chose you? What could he possibly have that could be so important? The forest seemed to respond to Lily's words. The air grew colder, and the mist became thicker, swirling in a dance around them. Adam felt his breath catch in his chest, and a shiver ran down his spine. He wasn't sure if it was the cold, the tension, or something else that made his skin crawl. We're almost there, Lily said, breaking his train of thought. Just a little further. Adam nodded, though he wasn't sure what they were heading toward. The path they were on was becoming more winding, more difficult to navigate. The trees grew even closer, their branches intertwining above them like a twisted canopy. In the distance, Adam thought he saw a faint light through the mist, flickering like a candle. It was a soft, golden glow that seemed to pulse in time with his heartbeat. "What's that?" Adam asked, pointing toward the light. Lily didn't answer immediately. Instead, she simply quickened her pace, moving toward the light without a word. Adam followed closely behind, his curiosity pushing him forward despite the growing unease in his chest. The closer they got, the stronger the glow became, until it was almost blinding. Adam's eyes squinted against the intensity of the light. As they approached, the mist parted slightly, revealing a small clearing. In the center of the clearing stood an ancient stone structure, covered in moss and vines. It was shaped like a circle, its surface worn by time, yet it still radiated a quiet, powerful energy. The light was coming from within the stone, pulsing in slow, rhythmic waves. Adam's breath caught in his throat as he took in the sight. "What is this?" he whispered. Lily stepped forward, her gaze fixed on the stone. "This is it," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "This is what's been waiting for you." Adam felt a surge of energy wash over him as he stepped closer to the stone. The closer he got, the more the light seemed to pull him in, like it was calling to him. His hand reached out, trembling slightly, and before he knew it, his fingers brushed against the cold surface of the stone. As soon as he made contact, a jolt of energy shot through him, and the fog around them seemed to vanish. For the first time since they had entered the forest, Adam could see clearly. The world around them had changed. The trees, the mist, even the sky above them, all of it was different now. The stone had unlocked something. Adam didn't know what, but he knew it was only the beginning. The world around Adam shifted as the energy from the stone filled the air. The once dense fog had dissipated, and in its place was a surreal clarity. The forest, which had once felt so vast and oppressive, now appeared brighter, more alive. Adam blinked, trying to make sense of what was happening. The trees were no longer just trees. The bark seemed to shimmer, and the leaves glistened like they were bathed in a soft golden light. The sky above was no longer clouded, but rather a deep, twilight blue, dotted with stars that hadn't been visible before. Adam turned to Lily, who stood motionless, her gaze fixed on the stone. Her expression was unreadable, yet there was something in her eyes that Adam had never seen before. Anticipation, maybe even relief. "What's happening?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Lily didn't immediately respond. She stepped forward, her movements fluid and graceful as she reached out to touch the stone again. The light pulsated, and the stone seemed to hum under her fingertips. "This," she said softly, "is the moment." Adam felt a strange pull, an urge to get closer, to understand what this was. He hesitated for a moment before following her. The closer he got, the stronger the energy became, swirling around him like an invisible force. His mind raced, trying to process the enormity of the moment. "Lily," Adam said, his voice a little shakier than before. "What is this stone? What is it supposed to do?" Lily's eyes met his, and for a brief second, he saw a flicker of something ancient in them, a deep knowledge that she had carried with her for longer than he could understand. "It's not just a stone," she said, her voice steady but filled with weight. "It's a key to a power that has been hidden for millennia, and now it has chosen you." Adam's heart pounded as the words sank in. "A key? To what? A power? Chosen me," he repeated, still struggling to grasp the full meaning of what Lily was saying. She nodded, her gaze never leaving the stone. "Yes, Adam, you were meant to find it. The stone has been waiting for you, for someone who can unlock its true potential. But it's not just about you. It's about everything." The air around them seemed to grow heavier, and Adam's thoughts raced. "Everything?" he echoed, still trying to make sense of the vague, cryptic words. "What do you mean?" Lily stepped back from the stone, her face serious now. "The stone is part of something larger, something that connects all life, all worlds. It was hidden for a reason. It wasn't just waiting for anyone to stumble upon it. It needed the right person, someone who could see beyond the surface." Adam's mind reeled. Was he really the right person? A small-town guy from Pine Ridge, who had no idea about ancient stones or hidden powers. He didn't feel special. He didn't feel like he had anything that could connect him to something so profound. "I don't understand," he said, shaking his head. "Why me? Why now?" Lily's voice softened, and for the first time, there was a vulnerability in her eyes. Because, Adam, the world is changing. And the stone, it's part of that change. You have a role to play, whether you're ready for it or not. Adam stood there, feeling the weight of her words. He had no idea what role he was supposed to play or what was coming next, but one thing was clear. This was no ordinary journey. And whatever was hidden in this forest, whatever power the stone held, it was something that would change everything, for him, for Lily, and for the world. He looked back at the stone, its faint light still glowing. Something deep inside him stirred. It was as if the stone was calling to him, beckoning him to understand its secrets. He took a deep breath, steeling himself. "What do I need to do?" he asked, his voice steady now, determined. Lily smiled, though it was bittersweet. "You'll know when the time comes. But for now, we need to keep moving." Adam nodded. The journey was far from over, and though he didn't fully understand what lay ahead, he knew one thing for certain. This was just the beginning. The air around Adam and Lily felt charged with an energy he couldn't describe. The stone's glow had dimmed, but the feeling in the forest had changed. The forest wasn't just a collection of trees and mist anymore. It felt like something ancient was watching them, something aware of their presence. Adam's heart was still racing, and though he tried to shake off the unease, it lingered in the pit of his stomach. "So, what happens now?" he asked, his voice low as he turned to Lily. She stood still for a moment, staring at the stone, as if contemplating something just out of reach. Then, without a word, she began to walk away, her steps sure and steady, her gaze never leaving the path ahead. Adam hesitated but followed her. He had no idea where they were going or what they were supposed to do next. But somehow, he knew that he had no choice but to keep going. "There's something you need to understand, Adam," Lily said after a while, her voice cutting through the thick silence that had settled around them. Adam glanced up, waiting for her to explain. "The stone isn't the only key. There are others, scattered across the world. They're connected, all part of something much bigger." Adam frowned, trying to wrap his mind around what she was saying. "Other stones?" he asked, unsure if he understood correctly. Lily nodded. "Yes, the stone you found is just the beginning. It's the first step in a much larger journey. And you're the one who will find the others." Adam stopped in his tracks, the weight of her words sinking in. "Wait, you're saying that I have to find all these stones? What if I don't? What happens then?" Lily turned to face him, her eyes serious. "Then it's over," she said simply. "If the stones aren't united, if the power they hold isn't unlocked, the world as we know it will change forever." Adam felt his throat tighten. This was more than just an adventure, more than just a strange encounter with a girl from another world. This was about something much bigger. "But why me?" Adam asked again, the question that had been gnawing at him since they first met. "Why do I have to be the one to do this?" Lily's gaze softened, and for the first time, Adam saw a flicker of sympathy in her eyes. "Because you're the one who can see it. You're the one who can understand it. The fog, the stone, it's all a part of you. You've always been connected to it, even if you didn't know it." Adam swallowed, unsure of what to say. How could he possibly be connected to something so ancient, so powerful? He was just a guy who worked at a small-town diner and lived a simple life. Yet here he was, standing in the middle of a mysterious forest, learning that his life was somehow tied to the fate of the world. "So what now?" Adam asked, his voice quieter now, as the enormity of what lay ahead began to sink in. Lily gave him a faint, almost imperceptible smile. "Now, we find the next stone." Adam nodded, though doubt still lingered in his mind. He had no idea how they were supposed to find the next one or what it would look like, but one thing was clear, his journey was just beginning. And whether he was ready or not, the world was counting on him. They continued walking through the forest, the air still thick with the strange energy, but now Adam couldn't shake the feeling that something else was coming. Something darker, something that would challenge everything he thought he knew about himself. The stone had awakened something, and he had a feeling that they weren't the only ones who had noticed. As Adam and Lily continued their journey through the forest, the air around them seemed to pulse with an unseen energy. The mist, which had cleared for a brief moment, was now starting to return, creeping back into the woods like a slow tide. It was thicker than before, more suffocating. The trees loomed even taller, their branches twisting in unnatural angles, casting long shadows that seemed to stretch forever. Adam couldn't shake the feeling that something was watching them. The strange noises from before had returned too, this time louder, as if the forest itself was alive and aware of their presence. The eerie feeling that had been growing in his chest since they first entered the forest was now impossible to ignore. "Lily," Adam said, his voice barely audible over the sounds of the shifting forest. "Is something following us?" Lily didn't look back, but her expression hardened. "We're not alone," she said softly, her voice steady but filled with an edge of warning. Adam's heart skipped a beat. He had hoped it was just his imagination, but now it seemed that his fears were becoming real. "What do we do?" he asked, his voice tightening with apprehension. "We keep moving," Lily replied. "We can't stop. Not now." Adam glanced at her, studying her face for any sign of fear, but there was none. She seemed as calm and collected as ever, though Adam knew she must have sensed the same danger that he did. He could feel it in his bones. "Do you know what it is?" Adam asked, his curiosity getting the better of him. Lily's gaze shifted to the darkening sky above them, her eyes distant. "I don't know exactly," she said, "but I know it's connected to the stone. There are forces that are waking up now, and they're not friendly." Adam's mind raced. Forces? What kind of forces? And why were they targeting them? "Are we in danger?" Adam asked, his voice low. Lily finally stopped walking, and Adam nearly bumped into her. She turned to face him, her eyes locking with his in a way that made him feel as though she was looking straight into his soul. "Yes," she said quietly, "but it's not just about us anymore. The stones, the power they hold, it's bigger than anything either of us can fully understand. There are others who will stop at nothing to get to them, and they will come for us." The words hung in the air between them, heavy and foreboding. Adam's mind was racing, trying to process everything Lily had just said. Who were these people who would come for them? And why? "What do we do?" he repeated, his voice growing more urgent. Lily stepped back, her gaze scanning the forest around them. "We have to find the next stone," she said, her voice unwavering. "And we have to do it fast." Adam nodded, though he felt a sense of dread settle deep within him. He had no idea how they were going to find the next stone or what dangers lay ahead, but he knew one thing for sure. He wasn't alone in this. Lily was with him, and together, they would face whatever was coming. As they started moving again, Adam couldn't shake the feeling that they were being followed. Every rustling leaf, every crack of a branch underfoot made his heart race. He wanted to turn around, to see if someone, or something, was there, but Lily kept her pace steady, and he couldn't bring himself to stop. They had to keep going. The deeper they went into the forest, the more oppressive the atmosphere became. The mist was closing in again, swirling around them like it had a life of its own. Adam's thoughts drifted back to the stone they had found, the key that had started all of this. What was its purpose? What was it unlocking? And most importantly, who else knew about it? They were walking into unknown territory now, with no way of knowing what lay ahead. The only thing Adam knew for certain was that the answers were out there, and they would have to find them, no matter what. The forest had grown eerily quiet. The rustling leaves, the distant calls of birds, and the occasional snap of a twig underfoot had all faded, leaving behind an unsettling silence that pressed down on Adam like a weight. Every step felt heavier now, each breath more labored, as if the air itself was thick with anticipation. The mist had returned, swirling in thick, dense clouds that made the world around them seem unreal, like a dream fading in and out of focus. Adam couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. The hairs on the back of his neck stood on end, and a chill ran through him despite the warmth of the day. He glanced at Lily, who was moving ahead with her usual calm, her face serene but focused. She seemed unaffected by the oppressive atmosphere, but Adam couldn't help but feel the growing sense of danger that surrounded them. "Lily," Adam said quietly, trying to break the silence, "do you feel that? Like we're being followed?" Lily didn't answer immediately. She kept walking, her steps deliberate, but Adam could see her jaw tighten slightly. Finally, after a long pause, she spoke. "I feel it too," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "We need to be careful." Adam's heart skipped a beat. "What do you mean?" "The forces that are after the stones, they know we're close. They're starting to move." Her words sent a shiver down his spine. Adam had known they weren't alone, but the reality of it hit him harder than he expected. Who were these people, or whatever they were, that were after them? And why were they so determined to stop them? Do you know what we're up against? Adam asked, his voice tinged with fear. Lily didn't look back at him, but he could see the set of her shoulders stiffen. I don't know everything, she admitted, but I know they won't stop until they get what they want. And we can't let them. The tension in Adam's chest tightened. He wasn't a fighter. He wasn't trained for whatever was coming. All he had was the stone and Lily. But how would that help them now? What should we do? Adam asked, feeling helpless. Lily's gaze turned ahead, scanning the misty path as she considered her words carefully. We keep moving forward, she said, her voice steady, almost resolute. We find the next stone. We can't afford to stop. Adam nodded, though doubt still clung to him. Every instinct screamed at him to run, to turn back, to get out of the forest before whatever was following them caught up. But he knew Lily was right. They had no choice. The next stone, whatever it was out there, and they had to find it before the others did. They pressed on, the air growing heavier with every step, the mist thickening around them like it had a life of its own. Adam's mind raced, trying to piece together what he had learned so far. The stone they had found wasn't just a key. It was part of something bigger, something that connected all of them, all the stones, to a power that neither of them fully understood. But there was more at play here, more than just the stones. The forces Lily had spoken of, whatever they were, weren't just after the stones. They were after power. And Adam couldn't help but wonder what would happen if they didn't get to the next stone first. How much further? Adam asked, trying to break the tension. Lily didn't answer right away, her eyes scanning the path ahead. Finally, she spoke, her voice soft but firm. We're close, she said, but we need to hurry. The closer we get, the more dangerous it will become. Adam's breath quickened. He could feel it now, a sense of urgency building in him, a need to reach the next stone before whatever was chasing them caught up. The forest had changed, and so had he. Whatever he had been before, whatever normal life had been, it felt like it was slipping away with each passing step. The fog pressed in, the world narrowing around them. And in the distance, Adam thought he saw something. A faint light, flickering in the distance, barely visible through the mist. His heart raced. Could this be it? Was the next stone just ahead? He quickened his pace, following Lily's lead, the mist swirling around them like a living thing, urging them onward. Whatever was ahead, whatever they would face, Adam knew they couldn't turn back now. They had come too far. The next step was crucial. They were getting closer, and they had to be ready for whatever awaited them. The faint light Adam had seen through the mist was now brighter, flickering like a distant beacon. His heart raced as he quickened his pace, matching Lily's stride as they both pushed forward through the thickening fog. Every step felt heavy, as though the very earth beneath them was pulling them down, but they had no choice but to move on. The forest was alive with an unsettling silence, broken only by the occasional rustle of unseen creatures in the underbrush. Adam's mind was spinning with questions. What was this light? Was it another stone? Was it the power they were after? Or something else entirely? As they drew closer to the source of the light, the mist seemed to thin, revealing a small clearing up ahead. The trees parted just enough to allow the soft glow to shine through, casting long shadows that stretched across the ground. The air felt different here, crisp, almost electric. Adam's breath caught in his throat as they emerged into the clearing. In the center, standing tall and untouched by the mist, was another stone. This one was larger than the first, its surface covered in intricate carvings that seemed to pulse with the same faint light. The stone's glow was soft but intense, and Adam could feel its presence like a hum in the air. Is this it? Adam asked, his voice barely a whisper. Lily stood still for a moment, her eyes locked on the stone, her face unreadable. She didn't respond immediately, but Adam could tell she was measuring something, considering the stone, with more than just curiosity. Finally, she nodded. Yes, she said, her voice firm. This is it. The second stone. Adam's chest tightened as he approached the stone. The carvings on its surface were unfamiliar, but there was something about them that felt significant, as if they held a secret that only the right person could unlock. He reached out cautiously, his fingers brushing against the cold surface. The moment his skin made contact, a surge of energy shot through him, and for a split second, everything around them seemed to blur. The world spun, and he felt as though he was being pulled in multiple directions at once. His heart pounded in his chest as a wave of dizziness washed over him. Adam, Lily's voice cut through the haze, and he blinked, finding himself back in the clearing. The stone was still there, its glow now steady and calm. He steadied himself, taking a deep breath to clear the fog in his mind. What just happened? He asked, his voice shaky. Lily was watching him carefully, her expression serious. The stone, it has a power, she explained slowly. It's not just a key, it's a test. It's meant to challenge you, to see if you're ready for what comes next. You're connected to it, Adam. You have to trust yourself. Adam's mind raced. A test? He didn't feel ready for any test. All he wanted was to get through this, to find the answers. But now he realized that there was so much more at play. He wasn't just looking for the stones. He was becoming part of something bigger, something he couldn't fully understand. How do I know I'm ready? Adam asked, his voice quieter now. Lily's gaze softened for a moment, but she didn't step closer. You'll know when the time comes, she said. Trust me, Adam. Everything is connected. This is only the beginning. Adam took a deep breath, the weight of her words sinking in. He wasn't sure what the future held, or what he would have to face next, but one thing was clear. He couldn't stop now. They were on the edge of something monumental, and whatever it was, he had to be ready. The second stone was just the beginning, but it felt like the world was shifting around them, preparing them for something far greater. They couldn't go back. They had to keep moving forward, no matter how uncertain the path ahead might be. The forest had changed. The mist had grown heavier again, but Adam no longer felt as lost. The next step was ahead of them, and he would face it, no matter what came next. As Adam and Lily stood in the clearing, the faint glow from the second stone seemed to pulse in rhythm with Adam's heartbeat. He could still feel the surge of energy from his earlier touch, the lingering power vibrating through his fingertips. The weight of the moment pressed on him, and he realized just how deep he was in this journey now, deeper than he had ever imagined. He had started this adventure seeking answers, but now, it seemed like he was part of something far greater than he could comprehend. The stone had not just revealed a new path, but had also marked a turning point. Adam wasn't the same person he had been when he first set foot in this forest. He could feel it in the air around him, in the way the fog seemed to bend and swirl like it was alive, responding to something within him. It was as though the world itself had shifted. What happens now? Adam asked, his voice sounding almost small in the vast stillness of the forest. Lily didn't answer immediately. She was still staring at the stone, her face filled with a quiet intensity that made Adam feel both unsettled and determined. Finally, she turned to him, her eyes locking onto his. Now, we move forward, she said, her voice steady. But it's not just about the stones anymore. It's about what they unlock. And what they unlock isn't just power, it's the future. Adam frowned. The future, he echoed, not sure he understood what she meant. Yes, Lily replied, her gaze unwavering. The stones were hidden for a reason. They're not just relics of the past. They're keys to something that could change everything. If they fall into the wrong hands, her words trailed off, but Adam could hear the unspoken meaning hanging in the air between them. So we have to find the others before they do, Adam said, more to himself than to Lily. She nodded. Exactly. But it's not just about finding the stones. It's about understanding what they are. They are part of something bigger, something ancient, something that can either save or destroy. The weight of her words settled heavily in Adam's chest. He had never signed up for anything like this. All he had wanted was to help Lily, to understand why she was here. Now, he realized that they were both caught in something much larger, something beyond their control. How do we even begin to understand something so big? Adam asked. Lily's eyes softened for a moment, and she placed a hand on his shoulder. We start by trusting ourselves, trusting each other. Adam nodded, though uncertainty still clouded his mind. The path ahead was unclear, and there were more dangers out there than he had ever imagined. But standing here with Lily, he knew that they couldn't turn back now. The second stone was only the beginning, and the road ahead would be filled with challenges they couldn't foresee. But for the first time, Adam felt like he had a purpose. He wasn't just along for the ride anymore. He was part of it. We keep moving, Lily said, turning toward the path ahead. And we stay one step ahead of whoever is coming for us. Adam followed her lead, his heart heavy, but his resolve stronger than ever. They had come too far to turn back now. The fog parted slightly, allowing a glimpse of the path ahead. It was long, winding, and uncertain, but Adam knew one thing. Whatever came next, they would face it together. The journey had only just begun.